Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 57. 13 days to go officially. Well, 14 days including today. Maybe a couple bonus days depending on when you get your scan done. Not a lot of time, but as I mentioned, 1/5 of the challenge, which is still huge, right? We've done 4/5, we've got 1/5. A lot can happen in 2 weeks. So take advantage of each and every day. Stay committed, stay positive. Take each day on its own, unto itself, and don't beat yourself up if you've made errors or if you haven't done as good as you maybe think you could have through the challenge. Every day is a new day. Your past does not dictate your future. So let's keep going and see where you land, okay? Definitely come in for your final scan if you didn't come in for your third. All right, so I'm done all your feedback. I don't have any more feedback. So I'm gonna talk today about why weight training, specifically heavyweight training. When I say heavyweight training, I'm talking, let's say, training with basic movements, with weights in that, let's say maybe 6 to 20 rep range, okay? So that would be training heavy. When I say in that 6 to 20 rep range, it doesn't just mean you're doing reps to 6 or 20 or in that range and it's just like you do 6 or you do 20. It means that you're failing with that weight in that range. So there is a high intensity, there is a high demand. Like if you fail in 6 reps, think about that, right? You start lifting the weight at 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6, and that's it. You can't do any more. That is really heavy. Likewise, when you do 20, maybe it's not so heavy, but it's certainly not so light that you can lift the weight, just minutes on end, right? So why is training in this range specifically? Okay, and I'm gonna specifically say 6 to 20. You can argue 22 or 25 or whatever, or maybe as low as 5. But why is this important for fat loss? Okay, so number 1, this is generally speaking the rep range that you'll use to build muscle mass. Training in that 1, 2, 3 rep range is more strength-based. It's generally not enough tension. It's not enough time or tension for the body to build muscle. You can build some muscle, certainly, but this is going to be more training your nervous system, okay? So training that 6 to 20 rep range essentially is going to elicit more muscle mass, and with more muscle mass comes greater metabolism. Putting your vital organs aside, muscle mass requires the most energy. It is the tissue that requires the most energy for maintenance. So muscle mass is something that we really want to invest in if we want to stay lean, if we want to be more energy inefficient. Okay, we want to make it easier on ourselves to keep fat off. And I remind you that you lose muscle mass as you age. It's just the way it goes. Number 2, increased metabolism. All right, so not just muscle mass here, okay? But there are some things here really specifically along the lines of muscular repair. So we create some damage in the gym training in that 6 to 20 rep range. The muscle is damaged. The body has to fix that damage. It has to restore energy systems or refuel. There's a bunch of stuff that has to happen, okay, including hormone balancing, cellular repair, okay, muscle tissue, replenishment of glycogen, etc. Innervation, so this is your nervous system. Your nervous system gets taxed. This is a physical system that has to be repaired. Overall anabolism, the building of more or new muscle tissue, the replenishment of water in muscle tissue, the replenishment of glycogen, as I mentioned. There's also something called EPOC, which it basically stands for excessive post-oxygen consumption or something like that. It's very similar to that. Basically means your body consumes more oxygen over an extended period of time, especially the first couple hours after weight training. And this is primarily due to the body restoring the phosphagen system. Okay, so I'm not going to go into details about it, but just think of your phosphagen system as an energy system that your body uses when you need to ask or demand of it a lot of force in a short period of time. Okay, so lifting heavy weights. All right, walking around does not really require your phosphagen system. Doing your 1 rep max deadlift, that's all phosphagen system. When we're lifting in the 6 to 20 rep range, phosphagen system and glycolytic system, really. But that phosphagen system, we need that. Okay, we need that because when you demand energy really quick from the body, your body can't, say, Mark needs energy, and okay, so let's do some stuff metabolically speaking, so we get that energy released, and then he can use it. No, it's like I need it now. So we've got the phosphagen energy system for that. Okay, and then during that period of time when that phosphagen system is being replenished, this is energy requiring. Number 4. Now this was recently discovered. When I say recently, I mean like over the last couple of years, maybe just in the last year or two. There's something called exerkines. Okay, or this is how they've been named. And these are basically extracellular messaging molecules that get released by muscle cells that promote basically the breakdown of fat tissue, specifically. And this happens specifically by working your muscles super hard. Okay, you're not going to work your muscles super hard by walking or sprinting. I would think would fall into this as well. But when we are demanding a lot of stress from the muscles in a very short period of time, the body releases something called exerkines. And again, these are extracellular. Basically just means like they're little messengers between cells that demand breakdown from adipose tissue, from fat cells. And that fat is being broken down, and I would think being used, the energy from the fat's being used to facilitate something in regards to the activity that's being performed. So that, again, this is only specific to weight training. Now, when we build more muscle mass, we have a greater reservoir. We have more real estate to store sugar. When we have more real estate to store sugar, this becomes something that is not only going to benefit you in terms of reducing your chances of developing type 2 diabetes specifically, which is one of the fastest growing diseases. Forget about just lifestyle disease. It is a lifestyle disease, but just diseases in general. Okay, but type 2 diabetes is fully within your control in terms of mitigating. When you have more muscle mass, you have more reservoir for sugar. Also, when you train with intensity, when you train your muscles, you teach your muscles to be more, and I've mentioned this before in previous videos, the muscles become more insulin sensitive. Your body is more apt or more likely or better at taking in sugar. The muscles are better at taking in sugar and storing the sugar. And this is less stress on your body, less insulin produced by your pancreas, which results in less inflammation. And, as I mentioned, less chance of developing type 2 diabetes, much less chance. In fact, if you weight train on a regular basis, I don't think you're ever going to get diabetes. One other thing that's interesting is when you weight train right afterwards, you follow a heavy weight training session, your body doesn't even need to produce any insulin to get sugar into the muscle cells. Your body has something, your muscle cells have something called GLUT4 receptors. And I don't know the in-depth science, but it doesn't matter because I don't think you probably care. It just basically allows sugar to enter the muscle cells without any assistance, without insulin being present or anything like that. Also, when we have more muscle mass, we have chances are we have a lower fasting glucose measure, and this is really, really important because ultimately we don't want to be walking around with high glucose levels in the bloodstream. this is not good, again, for general inflammation, for general health. Okay? Not good for your blood pressure, by the way. Really not good for your blood pressure. Not good for your kidneys. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, weight training is part of, because people often think weight loss is just about calories and doing cardio. Like, that's really like not making an investment and really just trading. It's really akin to trading time for dollars, okay, when you're trying to make money, rather than, say, investing in something and having, income coming in without you really having to do any work is sort of the analogy. Weight training is that investment. Okay, so I'm gonna highly recommend that you keep in, this heavyweight training. Again, that 6 to 20 rep range. All right, let's get to the message of the day. Where are we here? Oh, macros were sent off today, so please make sure you check them. More than likely, your macros have changed. I think I changed them for everybody, or just about everybody. So please have a look and take note. All right, on this day 57, your potential, the absolute best that you're capable of. This is a metric to measure yourself against. Do not, a lot of us compare. All right, but we have no idea what somebody else is doing. We might think we know, but we don't know, and it's irrelevant even if we do know. Ultimately, we have to think about what can we improve, what more can we do, how honest are we being with ourselves, and work on that. You got to stay in your own lane and focus on what you can do to better improve. Compare yourself to perhaps what you've done in the past or what you're currently doing right now, and look for those areas where you can improve, because I know for everybody, including yours truly, there are many areas that we can improve upon, right? So that's where our focus should lie, should we not be fully happy, okay, or content with our progress in whatever facet of life we're working in, okay? So look for the areas that you can improve upon, because I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter what you're working towards, there's probably many things. And these things, if we work on them, are going to make a difference, right? It's all about doing that over the long term, right? It's all about self-improvement over the long term. Continuing to, not necessarily being perfect, because perfect is a very hard thing to get to, but looking for ways to always improve. Constant improvement, right? Positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself. For the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. See you guys. Send me your feedback.